It's the first and we'll take questions for Coach.
All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I mean, give Washington credit. I thought they played very well tonight. Tough loss for us. Definitely thought their physicality wore us down. Thought we played a little bit fatigued tonight, especially Nick. But that's to be expected. Just there's so much on his plate every night and what people throw at him. And I thought early in the game we shot ourselves in the foot a little bit, but not taking advantage of some transition opportunities. I thought we got some stops early in the game. I thought our defense was actually good early, and we got out on the open floor, and we missed some shots around the basket. We missed a couple jumpers. Kepning had a couple huge blocks for him, and we just didn't have any points to show for it. And then I thought we tried to make a little push. Yates' three-point shooting kind of gave him separation in the first half. And then, we got down big, but we fought, got it to 8. And then, they hit some big buckets there. Diallo really took over late in the game. Give him credit for that. As a veteran guard, kind of using his body, getting the spots, hit some tough mid-range shots. So, tough loss. We'll hang in there. Our guys are pretty tired, pretty beat up right now. 2 games in 48 hours at the Big Ten level with a lot of young guys playing. So we gotta get some rest here tomorrow. Be a day off and kind of come back on Monday and dust ourselves off and get ready for the next one.
More questions, Matt?
Coach, there was a technical on your bench in the final couple minutes.
Yeah.
What caused that?
Yeah. There was some back and forth with Diallo, and I don't know exactly if it was someone, a player or, a staffer, or not a coach, but I heard some back and forth that was getting a little heated, and I just told Zoom to, he was playing so great. I said, hey, just chill, man. It was, he was fired up. It was kind of I think it was just meaningless talking junk, and I thought the refs did a good job just kind of offsetting technicals. It was nothing crazy. It was I think he thought there was some yapping from our bench, and he was playing great, and he kind of yapped back, and it was nothing. It was nothing. And I talked to him after the game. And I thought the refs did a good job to just say, hey, double technicals, let's just play on. So there was nothing to that.
No.
Coach Ringo came in here and kind of talked about some of the physicality on Steinbach down low. But I kind of wanted to ask about the physicality with that offhand on Jake and Jaden. How do you keep them composed when they kind of get bumped off a lot there?
Yeah, you try to do your best, and look, we have great officials. I don't want to get into too much of that, but they have big-bodied guards, and they were using their leverage to kind of create space and get to spots. Diallo does a really good job with that, and we have. Jake being a freshman and going through it physically for the first time, and Jaden being a smaller guard, he was able to use his size to get to spots. So you just try to do your best, man. Make people take tough shots, get them to miss and rebound. And he's a good player. And they were allowing a lot of physicality the whole game. They can say that, but I mean, Nick gets grabbed and pushed and held the whole game too. So I mean, it was give and take. Both teams were physical, and refs were kind of letting them play, and they used that to their advantage. They got some big bodies out there on the floor.
Coach, you put in Arrinten Page for 26 minutes. What did you see out of him that let you keep playing him today?
Yeah, I mean, he was playing really well. I mean, like I said, I saw energy, I saw competitiveness. I saw a bounce in his step. Certainly against them, you need to match up with Kepning and Steinbach on the floor. You need size. So I knew he was going to be important tonight, and I was glad he was ready to go. I think he took to heart kind of the last game, not really being ready to be at his best. And I thought tonight he played a lot like he was playing earlier in the year. He played above the rim. He had some great shot blocks for us, got some offensive rebounds, finished around the basket. He was more like the guy we kind of saw, early in the season that was playing so well. So hopefully that'll be a positive that he can build on going into these last 8 or 9 games, whatever we have left.
Yeah.
speaking of AP, obviously has that stretch early in the second half where he completely takes over the game. I believe you guys ended up cutting it to 8, and then at a certain point you have to take him out to give him some rest.
Yeah.
I think he's out for about
He was gassed,
251.
yeah.
But in that point, that was kind of the turning point where Northwest, you guys weren't able to get anything down the stretch.
It was tough. I mean, he was playing really well, and I knew he wasn't going to be able to play the rest of the game. Because there was still, to your point, I think it was just under the 8-minute, or it was right around the 8-minute mark, or about 10 minutes. It was close to 10. What I wanted to do was rest him to the media. And I do that a lot. Sometimes I'll do it with Nick. Kind of, can you get a guy a minute and a half or 2 minutes and then the media and then have him finish the game? And, it kind of backfired against us. They were able, I think they got 2 layups. Diallo got a layup. They got a lob to Tucker. And then I think Yates hit a huge 3, late in the shot clock, where we left our feet. And so those were 7 big points there. And obviously if I had to do it over again, I probably would try to leave him in. But I just felt like he was playing so hard and he was really gassed. He had gotten a 3-point play. And I just thought it was a good time to maybe get him a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And but it hurt us on the defensive end, no question about it.
Hey, Coach, you guys came in here winning 2 of 3. I'm sure you're feeling pretty good, a little bit of momentum. And, does this take some wind out of your sails?
I hope not. We got a young bunch. We've talked about continuing to show up every day and playing hard and playing with a good spirit. And, I hope it won't. I hope we're not that shallow mentally that, having a night like tonight is going to just totally derail us. I feel like we've made strides the last couple of weeks. Thought we played some good basketball in LA. Thought we played really well the other night. Thought we had stretches tonight. Early in the game, I thought our defense was good. We just didn't score, and they were doing a good job on Nick, and we really just didn't have other guys that were. Trey had that little, I think he had 9 at half, but no one else really kind of could step up and stem the tide. So, it's a disappointing loss because you know how important the home games are, and now going on the road this week. But I'm not going to let it derail. We got young guys that we got to keep their heads up. And you guys have seen, you followed us, man. When you play a lot of young guys, there's going to be nights like Penn State, and then there's going to be nights like tonight, and where it's a struggle, and some veteran guys get the best of you. So we're gonna. I believe those guys. Everyone needs a day, though. I think everyone's pretty gassed and tired and disappointed in the game. We had 2 games in 48 hours, and which is a lot physically on these guys. And we need a day away. Everybody needs to get out of the building and kind of get their minds right and their bodies right. And we'll come back on Monday and we'll be ready to go in the next one.
Coach, for the past few games, kind of gone away from Jaden and AP, 2 transfers, more veteran players for the freshmen. This game, they came back in, both played 20-plus minutes. I think in the modern era, a lot of transfers, on other teams maybe might, I don't want to say check out, but at this stage of the season, being benched, coming back, how are you able to maintain buy-in in that kind of player in this era?
I think just constant communication. I think players, they want to be communicated with. They want to be told what's going on. I've always been very upfront to all these guys. I don't have deals with anyone. I'm trying to win. We're going to try to put the guys out there, and it doesn't mean I'm not perfect. We're going to make bad substitutions. We brought up probably taking AP out was a bad call tonight, but at that time, but I think with all these guys, they're good guys. They want to help the team. They want to win. And I've told them if they're playing well, they're going to play starters minutes. And that's what happened tonight. Both those guys were playing well. They were giving us a burst. We needed veteran guys against their physicality. And, because of that, they were out on the floor, starters minutes. So that's how it's going to go. And that doesn't mean who we're starting is going to start the rest of the year either. We're going to go game by game and continue to go each game trying to win. I've always done that. I'm a feel guy, feel your team, feel what your team needs, feel what guys are doing. So I just felt like those guys, both of them had pretty good pop tonight. They had good energy. They're playing well, and I appreciate their attitudes staying strong, through some games maybe where they didn't play as much, but a lot of that was those other guys were playing great. So that's the competitive nature of having a team. The guys who are playing well are going to stay out there because everybody's trying to win.
Coach,
All right, guys. Thank you, guys. See you.
Nick and AP here. Great questions about these guys. Go back.
Question for you, AP. Obviously, you're able to really exploit things in the post. What did you see out of Washington today that allowed you to have so much success offensively?
I felt like that when I made a quick move, that it was more successful than just letting the defense, settle in. So, I mean, I feel like that was most of my scores today were just quick moves and drop-offs.
AP, kind of going off of that, you also, when you came in, you could feel the momentum in the crowd just kind of shifting. What did you make of that?
I just thought it was just, I'm just out there playing hard, just trying to give energy, and I guess the crowd felt that, so I'm glad it helped them get into the game as well. So, yeah.
Jake?
Nick, when you have three freshmen playing their second Big Ten game in 3 days, how valuable is this experience for them, just getting the physicality on just such short rest?
Yeah, it's great for them. I think those three have really embraced, what we are as a program. And, 2 games in 3 days isn't always the easiest, but they definitely showed fight out there. Credit to Washington for their game plan.
Matt?
Nick, would you feel like Washington was able to do in a game like this after Penn State? You tie your career high, and then this one you're held slightly under 20. What did you feel like they were able to do that was different?
Yeah, they just did a great job. Yates was playing with a ton of physicality, and I think I was just a bit rushed today, and it happens. It hurts obviously because you want to show up for your team, and I didn't today. But yeah, we have 2 big games coming up this week, so I'm not going to dwell on the past. I'm just going to get after it as much as I can this week.
AV, you played just 3 minutes last game, kind of been fluctuating in terms of minutes, but today ended up putting in 26, making impact on both ends of the floor. What's been kind of your mentality as the season has progressed? You go from starter to kind of in and out of the rotation, and how have you stayed ready and prepared for opportunities?
Just being ready when my name is called, and it's pretty simple. I'm a basketball player, so whenever he puts me out there, I just do what I've done my whole life, just play basketball and play hard. So it's pretty simple for me.
Any more questions?
Either of you, in the next 4 games, Northwestern will be playing 3 top 10 opponents. What's the mentality going into a stretch like that?
Fight your butt off, and you just have to be there. Your mental toughness has to be there. You gotta approach each and every game like it's your last. And we have 3 freshmen starting, so it's definitely going to be a great experience for them. But we just have to embrace these opportunities while we can.
Any more questions? All right, that wraps us up for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.